evening, you're watching News Mongolian World. I'm your host, Anwar Batar. And for our top stories, President of Mongolia attends the 76th session of the United Nations General Assembly. Bank of Mongolia decides to keep the policy rate at 6%. And Digital Nation 2021 Communication and Information Technology exhibition was successfully organized. And for the news, stay tuned. On Monday, the Ministry of Health reports that 2,851 new cases of COVID-19 were confirmed and 11 more people have died.
In the past 24 hours, 2,851 new cases were confirmed and 5,211 have recovered. Unfortunately, 11 patients, 4 women and 7 men died of COVID-19 complications. Out of the new cases, 1,683 were confirmed in Ulaanbaatar and 1,168 were confirmed in the rural provinces. At hospitals nationwide, 21,532 COVID-19 patients are being treated. Out of them, 12,627 show mild symptoms of illness and 367 are in critical condition. Additionally, 57,490 patients are being treated at home under supervision from first-level family hospitals. Health officials advise the public to avoid touching their faces with their unwashed hands and keep wearing masks properly.
Now let's take a look at Mongolia's current affairs.
President of Mongolia is visiting New York City from September 19th to 23rd to attend the 76th session of the UN General Assembly. Before leaving for New York, he had virtually meeting with UNICEF Executive Director Henrietta Fore. Mongolia has been cooperating with UNICEF since 1965. He mentioned that UNICEF has been a significant contributor to implementing Mongolia's social and economic objectives and expressed his satisfaction with the active cooperation with the organization in vaccinating the population during the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as in developing its capacity for public health emergency management. Executive Director Fore highlighted the successful implementation of projects and programs on reducing maternal and child health risks related to air pollution and enhancing internet capacity at general education schools. She expressed her readiness to actively cooperate in creating more child-friendly environments, providing access to clean water, and reducing air pollution. Both sides have agreed to include Mongolia in Generation Unlimited, a global program designed to meet the urgent need for expanded education, training, and employment opportunities for young people and adolescents, and to advance the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and the UN Youth Strategy. The Bank of Mongolia's Monetary Policy Committee has decided to keep the central bank's monetary policy rate at 6%. Annual headline inflation stands at 8.9% nationwide and 9.1% in Ulaanbaatar as of August 2021. Inflation is rising due to economic recovery, but analysts say the increase is mostly due to the base effects and temporary supply-related factors. As a result of supply chain issues, headline inflation is expected to temporarily increase but is likely to stabilize close to the central bank's target level in 2022. However, due to the global economic recovery as well as international supply chain and logistics disruptions, the central bank forecasts the risk that external inflation and global food and fuel prices will exceed expectations and that supply-side inflation in the domestic market will increase. A partial lockdown has been imposed in Zamyotsum since Sunday night. The local emergency commission has restricted the movement of pedestrians and vehicles from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. The movement of vehicles other than heavy trucks is prohibited. The lockdown will be in place for 10 days, and 165 civil servants are on duty to enforce the lockdown and restriction regime. During the lockdown, shops are allowed to serve only up to 1/3 of its customer capacity and cannot sell alcohol after 3 p.m.
The ICT Expo, the largest exhibition in Mongolia's information technology sector, has been held for 3 days at the National Amusement Park under the new name of Digital Nation. Since its opening, it has attracted a lot of attention, combining drone light shows, music festivals, e-sport tournaments, and other events. More than 140 technology companies participated in the Digital Nation, and introduce their new product and unique solutions to the general public.
This year's Digital Nation featured education, health, and construction companies, as well as an association for the deaf and blind. In previous years, only IT companies participated, but this year, education, health, and construction companies presented their products as well. During the opening ceremony, the Prime Minister of Mongolia, Ayungirtan, said, "A year ago, Mongolia set itself a goal to become an e-nation and decided to integrate separate services of government organizations in the e-Mongolia window." The event, which saw 3.7 million e-government services and a six-fold increase in e-government, was attended by representatives of the world's IT sharks, including Dell Technologies, Visa, Oracle, and HP. Mongolian industry leaders met and exchanged views. More than 140 technology companies participated in the Digital Nation and introduced their new products and unique solutions to the public. Especially during the pandemic, young people who had the courage to start a startup company had a great opportunity to attract investors, introduce themselves to the market, and promote themselves. Last year's ICT Expo featured many electronic payment services, but this year the focus is on health and lifestyle changes.
The Digital Nation 2021 event is being successfully held. This year's event was held differently than in previous years. First of all, it's happening in the open field, and more organizations and companies had the opportunity to participate than in previous years. It is also organized with an international flavor. In previous years, about 40 companies in the field of communication and information technology participated, but this year more than 100 are participating. The main purpose of this event is to introduce the Digital Nation initiative introduced by the government to our citizens and to introduce the products of this sector and to introduce Mongolia's Digital Nation to the world. Mongolia's telecommunications and IT sector is short of human resources, but this is a global problem and not just in Mongolia. We organized it to show future children and young people that they can create a digital nation and to increase human resources in this field. Companies also had many opportunities to introduce their products and services to the public. This year's international flavor is also a great achievement. On the first day, representatives of international telecommunications arrived. Representatives of companies such as Sputnik, Google, and Facebook participated.
The Technology Day featured entertainment events such as esports, cosplay, skateboarding, BMX, and dance. Young people gathered for their hobbies and spent 3 days full of memories and adventures. MESA, the Mongolian Esports Federation, has expanded its activities this year to include a variety of esports competitions and a women's Dota 2 event. This year marks the 100th anniversary of the establishment and development of modern telecommunications sector in Mongolia. The event program included forums on the past, present, and future of the industry and the increasing significance of the IT industry, as well as a policy to boost cooperation between the IT industry and other industries. During the 3-day event, the latest versions of the e-Mongolia system for government services was presented to the public, and an esports competition and other public events also took place.
Now let's take a look at the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Now let's take a look at the weather forecast of world's major cities. Well, that's all for today, and thank you for staying with us. We will see you tomorrow with more news and updates. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.